Hi. So are you getting ready to prepare for this year's garden? I'm going to break down what I consider to be my go-to seeds every year. What I'll grow from always just because I've had so much success at them. In the 4 years that I've been doing this, what I've learned is that you should, a few things, grow the things you like to eat. I'll show you the ones that succeeded for me that I didn't struggle with as a new gardener. The things that almost grew themselves. And I will grow every year. I like to experiment every year with something I haven't tried before. And depending on what kind of vegetable it is, there's so many varieties of some of them that I can't help myself but to try them. But I'm just going to show you what has succeeded for me. I'm in Zone 6A. I'm in South Central Nebraska, so keep that in mind. But some of these things that I'm going to mention grow well everywhere. You just have to pick maybe the strain or the subspecies that works well for you. So I've got a little list here that I prepared of what my favorites are. I'm going to start with the most common. Everybody grows tomatoes. A lot of people only grow tomatoes. When you think of a garden and summertime and fresh vegetables, most people think of a nice tomato, fresh tomato. So tomatoes, I would put as a go-to every year, of course. I like to make a lot of sauces. I like to eat them fresh. I like to make salsas, and they're just an all-around great vegetable. And the thing about tomatoes is there's so many varieties. You can get lost in the varieties. And when I first started gardening, my first year, I decided after watching some videos that I wanted to go heirloom because I wanted to save my own seeds. And heirlooms are great. I mean, but they can be a bit temperamental from what I've learned. Some of them are more susceptible to cracking and rot and various things depending on the variety. They can be temperamental. And you've got like 3 different types that I've found. You've got determinate, indeterminate, and semi-determinate. I don't even know what semi-determinate is, to be honest. I guess it's something that kind of grows to a certain point, but then I don't know. Honestly, I don't. But when it comes down to it, with the things I like to grow, I like to have a plum type tomato, like a San Marzano for sauces. They have different types, Romas, San Marzanos. I always grow a few of those because they're meatier, they don't have as much juice, and they make a great sauce. Then there's the cherries. I always grow a cherry or two, and cherries are probably your most prolific, the ones that you'll be pulling from constantly. They just keep producing hundreds and hundreds of tomatoes. So I always grow a cherry, and they're always very sweet, good tasting, and nice to have in salads and whatnot. And then the beefsteak, which are your big ones, your ones you use on your BLTs, your sandwiches, things like that. Always grow a few of those. And I've experimented with quite a few different types, just because if you go through the catalog and look at tomatoes, the colors and the variations and the sizes and I bought more seeds than I'll ever use, and I'm still buying them, I have to be honest, because it's exciting, it's fun. So some of my favorites, I've had really good success with black cherry tomatoes. I've saved the seeds from them, and now I grow them from my own stock, and I'm hoping that will make a black cherry tomato that's favorable to my area. I've really enjoyed Cherokee Purple for this flavor and its look. Paul Robeson, one of my favorites. Love Paul Robeson. And I've grown some of the big beefsteaks, like Dr. Witchy's. They get huge. And the thing about them, I'm not going to grow as many of them in the future because they tend to put on some enormous fruit, but you don't get as much production out of them, in my opinion. And the plants get enormous. When you go, if you're decided, which I did my first couple years, I grew all indeterminate heirlooms. And they just keep growing and growing and growing. And I always run out of space. By the end of the summer, it's just a massive bush that I can't. I start out with good intentions of pruning them, but they just get massive. I think this year I'm going to buy more, try some more hybrids, ones that maybe are determinate. I'm going to stick with a few determinate hybrids. I had such a bad year with disease this year and overcrowding because they were all indeterminates. They all grew large and they choked each other out, and they got diseased. So I had this year I'm going to take steps to change that. That's just my experience. Again, I'm a fairly inexperienced gardener, so you just take what I have to say with what it is. But tomatoes are a given. So as far as tomatoes, try some new varieties every year. See what you like. See what grows well in your area. But you might try sticking with one cherry, a plum, and a beefsteak of some kind, so that you have a little bit of all the bases covered. My second one kind of goes hand in hand with the tomatoes that I grow every year. I always will, is peppers. I love peppers. I love growing peppers. Probably more so than tomatoes. I think there's a little less maintenance involved, and some huge production with peppers, depending on what variety you get. And you've got your sweet peppers and you get your hot peppers. And I like a variety of both. I like the sweet peppers. I really enjoy the hot peppers. And I'm not an overly hot loving person, spicy hot, but I do like it. I like enough burn to make it interesting. My wife doesn't like it nearly as much as I do, but you can do so much with a hot pepper. You can make chili peppers, you can make chili powders, you can make hot sauces, you can flavor up a chili with it. And the sweet peppers, of course, most people use those. Bell peppers, I like, some of the varieties I like are the Giant Marconi and the Jimmy Nardello. Really, they're each uniquely shaped, and they are all sweet and very flavorful. I would say much sweeter and more flavorful than the bell peppers. But I grow some bells every year too. In the hot peppers, I always grow jalapenos. I like to grow habaneros. They're hotter, but I use those in hot sauces and my chili powders. I like to grow serranos because they're really prolific. They're easy to care for, and I just enjoy serranos. And what else? Let's see. If you want to do some cayennes, I like growing cayenne. They're a neat looking pepper. They're hot, but we all know what cayenne pepper is, and I make my own cayenne pepper powders. So, and then again, it's almost like tomatoes. You go through the varieties and look at the catalogs, and you've got a lot of peppers to choose from, both hot and sweet. That's another one that goes, one of my favorites. I guess the next one would be greens, lettuces, spinach, collards, chard. And this is one of mine I would recommend for those that want a success and you're not quite sure, you're new to gardening. If you plant some lettuce seeds or some spinach seeds in the ground, Swiss chard is my all-time favorite green for the way it grows and its versatility. You can use the stalks and the leaves. Swiss chard is you can't hardly kill it. Kale, different types of kale. So I think, and I utilize in the summertime the greens almost every day. I'll usually have it in a salad or something, but it's something that I use every day during the summer, and easy to grow. Another one of my favorites is eggplant. I had never eaten much eggplant, and I'm still struggling with the best ways to use it. If anybody has any neat recipes, I've seen, eggplant parmesan, and I've done that. Baba ganoush or something like that, I think it's called baba ganoush. I've played around with it in soups and things like that, but it grows really well for me, and it's fun to grow. It's another nightshade, the same family that tomatoes are in, And it comes in different shapes and varieties. Black Beauty, which is your classic eggplant looking eggplant. You got little fingers I've grown, which I've had really good success with, which are about an inch in diameter or so and long. I've had good success with Casper. Last year I grew with Casper for the first time, and it did really well. And it's a pure white eggplant. A lot of fun. And another type, gosh, I should have listed it, but it's purple and white striped type of eggplant. It really grew well too, and it's really pretty. My next category is root crops. Root crops are probably what I have the most success with. I mean, if you were to ask me one crop to tell somebody to grow with that you won't have any issues, I'd say a brand new gardener, start with some radishes. Radishes are ones that if you're a brand new gardener, you'll have success with those. And they're short. I think they're 25 to 30 days, and you've got a radish. They're cold tolerant, so you can plant them early in the spring and get some production right away. The other thing that's great about them is that you can plant them in a bed, get some production, pull them, and plant in that same bed something that you can utilize later. And so you're getting two uses out of the same space. I have really good luck with carrots. I didn't think I would. I thought they maybe be temperamental, hard to grow, but you just got to make sure that your soil is pretty loamy so that the roots will, not get stunted. I have really good luck with onions and garlic. Love growing garlic, but you plant that in the fall. It's January now, and I still have probably 20 or more bulbs of garlic that I can use. Onions are great. Beets, I've never eaten beets much in the past, but I started eating them once I started growing them, and I really enjoy them because you can eat the greens. So I add that to my salads, and the roots, obviously. And the roots, you can do different things with them: roast them or pickle them. And then you've got your other root crops like parsnips and rutabagas and things like that I have yet to grow. I don't know if I like them or not. And it gets back to the point: only grow what you enjoy eating. You can grow the easiest to grow plant, but if you don't like eating it, it's a waste. It's a waste of time. So grow what you like to eat. And I'm not sure I want to plant rutabagas and parsnips and stuff because I'm not sure I like them. My other go-to is beans, green beans. Different types. You have different types, different. You got bush beans, which I always grow some bush beans, and you have some that need some type of support. I grow both, and I find when I stagger them a little bit, but I usually have beans through the whole summer. I come out. I mean, they're very prolific. I come out, pick a handful or like a bag full of them, a gallon baggie full of them, and 2 days later I'm picking another gallon baggie full of them. So they're very prolific. I like to. They freeze easily, and just eating green beans. I love to pickle green beans. I pickle them with some peppers in there and some onions, and just like you would a pickle. But they're nice and they snap and they're crisp, and really enjoy the green beans. I'm going to do that every year. Peas are the same way. They require colder temperatures, so once it starts getting hot, they don't do as well. And that's again where I live. It gets hot quick, so I have to plant them early, get my harvest, and then it's pretty much done through the summer on my peas. Another vegetable I always grow is cucumbers. They're easy to grow, they're prolific, and I usually grow them on the edge of my bed, put a little bit of a fence up or some fencing, and let it climb up and then spill over the side and go off the side of the bed. And I get, just out of a couple of plants, I get plenty of cucumbers. I have so many jars of pickles in the house that I could eat pickles every day and not run out. So that was because I planted more than I needed. And again, there were some varieties I wanted to try. The other category that I grow every year, and I don't have to grow it every year because a lot of years it comes up on its own. So That's herbs. Um, Herbs are so cost effective to grow compared to what you have to pay in the store for herbs. It's really kind of ridiculous what they charge for a little packet of herbs. But you grow put some basil seeds out there and some cilantro and some those two are really they just come up on their own, and you'll have basil all summer long. And the other one I don't want to leave off the list is flowers. Flowers not only add beauty to your garden, but certain flowers are pest um, protection for your garden. Marigolds planted with tomatoes and your nightshades and stuff are supposed to eliminate some of the pests. Nasturtiums, the same way. Neat flower. I'd never grown it until when I started gardening here. I'd never even really heard of it. It's an edible flower, and it grows really well. And I've had nasturtiums every year, and I really enjoy growing those. On the outskirts, just to get the pollinators and everything, I always grow zinnias and cosmos. I love those. I need to experiment with a few other types. I grew for the first time this year borage, which puts off a nice flower, and I guess it's edible, and I never tried it. So I'll grow it again this year because it's a neat plant, and I'm gonna try to add some other flowers to my garden. The thing about a garden that I think is that it's not just for vegetables; it's for the aesthetics of having a beautiful backyard. I want it to be a place where I come and sit down, and it's like my little tiny sanctuary, my little piece of the world that I can come and listen to the birds and see the butterflies and just enjoy the day. So I think flowers are an important part of having a nice garden. I Part of what I'm going to concentrate on with some videos are making your backyard into a place where you feel like you have your own little sanctuary. And with that goes um, feeding the birds and getting the birds in your yard, having a little place where wildlife is attracted to your backyard. For me, that's important. And I want to draw everything in here that wants to be here. And I'll try to take care of the pests naturally with plants that counteract some of the pests. In the 4 years I've been doing this, I've never had a tomato worm. And I'm not saying that maybe I've gotten lucky, but I've always had basil and marigolds planted in around my tomatoes. So I always will, just because so far it's worked. There's got to be tomato worms in my area. But some of the other plants I haven't mentioned, those are my really go-tos every year. Some of the other plants I've grown, had mixed success on, are like squashes. That's one area that I've had a big pest problem, the squash bugs. And like I said, I don't like to put any type of treatment on them. And I've tried neem oil and things like that, but they just didn't keep them away. And for me, it's a lot more labor than I'm willing to do to get squash. It's just on one plant I just won't bother with it. So those are really my go-tos, and I think most of those, if you pick the right variety for your area, I think you'll probably have some good success. Just if you have limited area, pick some patio varieties, pick some pots, and put some things that don't require really deep root space. If you want just instant success, grow some radishes, get some lettuce, plant some hybrids, so you don't have to worry about as many diseases or pest problems. There's nothing wrong with a hybrid. So I hope this video helps you out in any way. Like I said, I'm fairly new at this, so this information is information from what my experience is, which is somewhat limited. This was just to let you know the varieties that I had success with. And again, they might not be successful in your area depending on which zone you're in, just experiment, have fun, and get ready. The season's coming. Looking forward to it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. My name's Dennis, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.